It's Manila. I'm wearing a Hell Yeah Texas t-shirt, and that pretty much means one thing. We're gonna have a good time. Let's get into it.
It's Manila, baby!
Yeah! Rolling with Filipinas in Manila. That's the way to go. Knocking back a few, getting them warmed up, and getting them on the dance floor. Because that's where the magic happens. Filipinas love to dance. And there are plenty of spots in Poblacion and BGC where you can go to have a great time on the dance floor. But it's not just about nightlife in Manila. There's day-to-day life too. What did I tell you about Filipinas and dancing? They just can't get enough. And with apps like TikTok paying out revenues on views and promotional opportunities, it ends up being a labor of love. Some days, just chilling in the house, it's like TikTok madness. But let me ask you, how many times do you think it takes to get one decent TikTok shot all choreographed out? And how many times do you think I have to listen to that same like 12-second clip of hip-hop being like replayed and replayed and replayed and replayed? But you know, that is content creation for you, right? Somebody's got to do it, and there are worse things.
It's a street party in Manila. Let's go dig in.
A number of times a year, they'll close off a couple of blocks here in the Poblacion area of Makati. They'll put up some tents, some lights, some streamers, and go for a real block party. There are lots of little food vendors, lots of vendors selling really cheap local beers like Red Horse, Samig Light, Samig Pilsen. You'll end up seeing a lot of your friends in spots like this. There's a couple of popular bars along some of these strips, so we'll kind of hang out in the bars, we'll kind of cruise the street, we'll see who we know. It's usually a really good time. There are also a lot of little restaurants all along the street, like one of my favorite hole-in-the-wall spots, Only Pans. What an amazing, homemade, locally sourced ingredients, kick-ass taco they make here. The nice thing about events like this is not only does it bring out just about all the people you know, it brings out tons of new people, and everyone's in a good mood, and it's usually pretty darn easy to meet people in Manila, especially when you're just kind of hanging out, buying cheap beers, walking around, high five, toast, cheers. It's always a good time in Poblacion. I had just headed out to meet up with a couple of my bros at one of the local bars here. We like this bar because there's outside seating, and that usually means we could smoke cigars, no problem. The block party was just an added bonus. I got to catch up with a bunch of my friends, some people I hadn't seen in a while, and drink some cheap street beers. They keep the beers submerged in ice water on the street, so when they pull them out, they are nice and frosty. And let me tell you, a cold Samig or Samig Light goes down real smooth. Got to see my bro from one of my old videos, What Really Pisses Off a Foreigner. I'll put a link up for that. The cool thing about the street festival is you can party and drink on the street. Not that you can't do that in Manila anyway, but you can also keep a beer at your table or a drink and kind of shift back and forth. So when you get tired of the crowd, you head back to the bar, you hit your table, it's all good.
That's not my lungs, that's just your mouth.
We're hitting the private van right there. And we're all going to the next club. There's 9 people in the VIP van. We're going to the next club.
Since we had such a big crew and a private ride, we decided to head out and hit one of the most premier nightclubs in all of Manila, Club Xylo in Bonifacio Global City's Uptown Parade. We don't come here often because it's not cheap. A table for 10 or 12 will will set you back about 35,000 pesos on the weekend. And even if you split that 10 ways, you're still dropping about 3,500 pesos, which is about 50 or 60 US dollars. You definitely get what you pay for in this club. Just about all the liquor you can get here is top shelf booze. And it's all included in your consumable fee for the table. This is a super air conditioned, really classy, comfortable spot. You can get standing tables just like in any club, say Royal for example. And as you can see, the girls will party at the standing tables. I find it's hard to break into these tables though. I don't quite know what it is. Maybe it's because a lot of the girls, like these, are already at tables. Some other guy's table. Some guy that had to drop some big coin to get the table and said, hey, girls, why don't you come along and join us? Now, I'm not saying that all the girls in here are on some dude's dime. Like, as you can see, these girls have their own table. Granted, the standing tables are more affordable. However, we never roll in here unless we're with a crew, so I've actually never gotten a standing table at the club. It might be a similar experience to Royal, and you can see a lot of the videos on my channel about why I love standing tables at Royal. This is definitely the type of club where you will bring sand to the beach. And even though you do, you're still going to look around, you're still going to try to make connections, you're still going to be like, hey girl, can I get your IG? But like I was saying before, it seems like a lot of these girls are really just doing their own thing. They're out with their friends, they're not looking to connect, they're sitting at some other dude's table. I don't know what the deal is, but unlike some other clubs, say Royal or Neon Nights, I have a pretty lousy hit to miss ratio in this spot. I think people just come in here to celebrate, to high roll, to live it up, to be with their friends, not to hook up. Every condo in BGC is less than a 5 or 10 taxi ride from the Uptown Parade and Xylo.
Another wonderful morning breakfast on the terrace. Blue skies, breeze blowing. Philippines, baby. Talked about gut health, the gut microbiome. Kimchi is important. Fermented foods.
The iconic jeepney, the classic way to get around Metro Manila. One ride is only 10 pesos, and just about most places are only one ride away.
Alright, one ride away. And then there's SMR. It's a spectacular mall in BGC. Definitely worth the trip. Manila, baby. And I'm at Dr. Juan. And we've been doing Dr. Juan rather frequently over the last couple months, and there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, you can smoke cigars here. Number two, on a weeknight, and it's Monday night. And I had a pretty hardcore ass weekend, and I was dragging today. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going out. And my bro's like, yeah, hey, Dr. Juan, and we're gonna see what's popping later. I'm like, okay, what time? And now we're out. But the cool thing about Manila, I've said this a lot of times, you never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to connect with, and what's going to happen. You can go out alone, you can go out any night of the week, you can go almost anywhere. And I would say Dr. Juan was rather lively for a Monday night. It's almost like Dr. Juan's lively every night. I mean, the weekends are out of control and all. We kind of like to hit it on the weeknights because it's just chill. Smoke, Dr. Juan. I think we're 5 bottles in. We're only 4 people. So, welcome to the Philippines.
All my surplus. I know, that's a European shit. And dude, I don't know, so I can't say good or bad.
Oh, look at that Dr. Weinberger, baby. This is the 7th or 8th bottle that showed up on a Monday night. And we didn't even plan to go out. Like, there was no plan. Like, it was just like, let's catch up, bro. And like, the next thing you know, it's midnight and we're 8 bottles in. Filipinos are crazy. She's like, I gotta walk the dog. I'm like, okay. You want me to go with you? She's like, what do you want? You do what you want. I'm like, okay. But do you want me to go with you? No answer. 5 minutes later, standing in the doorway, she's like, let's go. I'm like, oh, okay. I see how this works. You're in a bad mood today. I got it. Said it before, BGC, it's condo land. Fantastic place to live in the Philippines. Probably the best city to live in the Philippines. And I've also said, like, you know, it looks just like any American city, but quite honestly, it looks better. It looks a lot better than what American cities are degenerating into nowadays. Disgraceful. But here, it's still condo land, baby.